Honourable Ginny Andersen, question 6.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Economic Growth. Does she agree with the statement of Honourable Nicola Willis? Quote, "On our watch there will be fewer people wearing lanyards on Lambton Quay, but there are going to be a lot more people wearing high-vis and hard hats." If so, why?
The Honourable Nicola Willis.
Well, Mr Speaker, can I first welcome the member to her new role? Yes, that statement was said in a previous capacity during the time in which I was the Minister for the Public Service, and I am happily informed by the current Minister for the Public Service that the government is continuing in our success in moving roles from the back office to the front line, with a significant reduction in money spent on lanyard-wearing consultants, an 8% reduction in policy roles, which has allowed us to invest more in frontline roles, including more than 2,000 additional frontline nurses.
Why has there been a reduction of over 13,000 people working construction, wearing high-vis and hard hats, since her government took office?
Well, Mr Speaker, I thought the member might use this dubious stat that a number of members opposite have been using in their media releases, and so I would encourage the House to listen. This statistic, certainly the construction sector has been affected by the downturn, but she is over-egging the impact of jobs because she is using a novel data series that STAATS NZ says only, quote, has provisional status. What STAATS NZ says is the most reliable job-related statistics for New Zealand come from the quarterly employment survey. And over the last year, that is December 2023 to December 2024, the QES shows a slight increase in construction jobs, up by 400.
Does she agree with Engineering New Zealand Chief Executive Richard Templer, who said the pipeline of infrastructure work had, quote, all but dried up, and that it was having, quote, a devastating impact on the profession? If not, why not?
Well, Mr Speaker, what I do agree is that when interest rates soar as high and quickly as they have in recent years, one of the most sensitive sectors is construction, who, when those interest rates are high, are less likely to borrow for more projects. And that has certainly had an effect on the New Zealand economy, and many people in the construction sector have felt it. However, I would also note that since coming to government, we have built more than 5,171 social houses. We have more than $6 billion worth of NZTA projects in construction. See, the members laugh because they are so unacquainted with the facts that when I use them, they find it laughable.
Please stop, and that barracking will stop like that. Minister will pick up her answer halfway through. A point of order. The Honourable Kira McAnulty.
Totally respect, sir, your role in maintaining order in the House. However, when we have a situation where the Prime Minister has previously claimed in this House to have built so many houses, the Housing Minister has said in this House that they have funded none, and now the Finance Minister is making a similar claim. What option have we got but to call that out? Now,
well,
sir,
you do have an option, and that is to refer the matter as a matter of privilege. Misleading the House is an extreme breach of privilege, and if the member thinks that is happening and ministers are doing that, then he should bring a privilege charge.
Thank you.
A point of order, the Honourable Nicola Willis.
I do feel my honour has been impinged, so I would like to refer the member to the source, which is the Change in Public Homes dashboard, which shows the net change in total public homes December 23 to January 25, which shows 5,171 homes added, including 4,096 Kainga-Ora public homes and 1,075 community housing providers public homes. Those are the numbers I'm relying on. I don't know which ones he's using.
I just make the point that that's the last time someone is going to use a point of order to attack another part of the House. It's not acceptable. It's to take offence. Excuse me. Right, who put your hands up? Who wants to go? Mr. Bishop, you want to go on your way? I've made the point, and I think people should just take it on board. Ginny Andersen.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why did her government suspend...
I hadn't finished my answer. We had the back and
I'd
forth.
finished listening to it. And that is disorderly. Don't do that. When the House goes quiet, ask your next question.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why did her government suspend Kāinga Ora's build program when the construction sector themselves warned the indecision or pause for Kāinga Ora is actually contributing to the recessionary effect on the construction sector?
Mr Speaker, this is a very important point, and it's one that I would encourage the member to get acquainted with the facts on, because I have seen that this is an issue that has caused a lot of consternation for members opposite. Go and look at the public housing dashboard. What that shows is in the period since December 2023, more than 5,000 public homes have been added. And that is because the Kāinga Ora build program has continued. In addition to that, at the last budget, our government...
It can't carry on. Keep asking questions if you want to, but barricading across the House is not helping, nor is the intensity of the answers being given. Factual answers, good. Heavily emotional answers, not good. The Minister may continue.
In addition to that, in our first budget, the government made additional funding available to deliver social housing places from community housing providers. And I'm advised that since December last year, more than 1,075 new community homes have been added to the public housing stock. So I welcome a debate with the member, but to say that we have stopped building public houses is factually, completely wrong, and Mr Hipkins should stop saying it.
Mr Speaker, point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order to the Right Honourable Chris Hipkins.
Mr Speaker, the Minister has just made a very misleading claim in the House herself, where she talked about funding that her government had allocated for some new social housing, and then said how many they had how many had been delivered. The new funding the government's allocated doesn't come until next year.
Well,
so she's made a claim that is simply not true.
And there will be, obviously, I can't know that, but there is a remedy for you if you choose to use it. The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
In the interest of planning going forward, could the Minister tell us as to whether there's been any period in the last 40 years where the housing construction has shrunk in the way it did between 2020 and 2023?
Well, the Deputy Prime Minister highlights a very important point, which is one of the most difficult periods, of course, for the construction sector.
Wait on, sorry. We're just going to go into silence for the rest of this. Brief answer.
A very difficult period for the construction sector was during the lockdowns, during COVID-19, and subsequently additional challenges for the construction sector have come from very high interest rates.
Supplementary. Does she agree with the National Party's infrastructure spokesperson Chris Bishop, who said in 2020, quote, "The construction sector is crying out for certainty. Jobs literally depend on the government getting on with the job. And if so, why does New Zealand have the lowest number of people working in construction since June 2021?
Well, Mr Speaker, yes, I completely agree with the Minister for Infrastructure, which is why, as a government, we've taken steps to fast-track major developments, which those members have opposed, and when the hundreds of construction jobs that result from those projects come on board, I look forward to members opposing those too. It is why we have introduced new reforms to the Resource Management Act so that construction activity can get underway faster. It's why we have an extensive program of reform being led by the Minister for Building and Construction to make it cheaper and faster to build homes. We are a government on the side of construction and building and doing it faster. Fewer people like Duncan Webb saying no to supermarkets more people saying yes.
How many times do I have to say, don't bring attacks on opposition members into it before I take some action? I'll get a ton of letters tomorrow saying I've been far too lenient, so I won't be from this point on. Is this a point of order or a question? Supplementary question, the Honourable Chris Bishop.
Can the Minister confirm that in 2024 the government built more school classrooms than in 2023 with better value for money through standardised design and modular off-site builds?
Yes, Mr Speaker, I can confirm that, and that was a result of the additional $1.5 billion that we invested in school property. And Mr Speaker, the cost, I understand, has gone down from $1.2 million on average per classroom to $800,000 per classroom. And of course what that means is we can build more classrooms with taxpayer money, which is a good result for New Zealand students and their families.